PA still dead for another 10 seconds. That is a really good stun, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save their racks. The question is, will Envy do the 50-50 and dive the fountain to try to get this game back into the favor of 4 Zoomers or not? There's Stormhammer to follow BKB from Envy, and that is going to be enough to delete Gunnar off the face of the earth. And it looks like this game 1 is definitely going to be going to Team Zero.
I feel like playstyle-wise, Zoomers is really bad against this 4Fun lineup, or 4Fun team. Because I think 4 Zoomers rely on these crazy kill heroes that create chaos in the game, and 4Fun just play this like drill sergeant, walk down lanes, 5-man strats. And it's pretty impossible to like get caught out and feed against these type of lineups.
There's like no pickoffs because nobody's split.
Yeah, so. I feel like they thrive on this chaos that they create on 4 Zoomers.
Well,
and
the funny thing is, like, Envy could be splitting, like, but he goes with the team even on Sven.
Yeah, on level 7 Sven. At the tower. I feel like that's an interesting conceptual counter in terms of team style.
That is very interesting.
You know what the secret behind Team Zero is, guys? I talked to Brax about this. By talk to Brax, I mean he talked about it on stream, and I'm just relaying it, pretending that I had actually had a conversation with him. Apparently, the secret to success for this team is not practicing. The more they practice, the worse they are.
The harder they think about things.
Exactly. They overthink it.
Yep.
Absolutely. So game 1 victory goes to whatever the hell you want to call that team. 4Fun, Team Zero, Team Envy / Brax, whatever. But this is a best of 3, so 4 Zoomers should be able to regroup and potentially take this to a game 3. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back very shortly.
The thing I value the most at the end of the day is always going to be winning.
I thought that if I lose TI, my career was in jeopardy.
For me, at least, that fire has always come through when I needed it the most.
Because if I gave it my all and I didn't win, then that's all I can do.
If you don't feel that fire when you need it the most, you probably don't want to win. The thing I value the most at the end of the day is always
that easy.
That wasn't really a joke.
Well, you know, I didn't have much time to think about it.
I
There was
didn't- I didn't
immense
prep you.
pressure.
I didn't prep you at all. I do apologize. All right, here's a question for you guys. As BSJ, are you okay?
I'm
You okay?
It's easy to
short-circuiting a tad.
It's
but
easy
I'm
to break
gonna-
them.
Yeah.
It's easy to break 'em.
So we discussed this briefly as we're going to get into the game here relatively shortly.
Speaking of disgust,
But reworks of heroes. I think this can be a common theme for us this week because it's something I immensely enjoy talking about.
And we've got an imminent patch
Right.
looming.
Which
Hopefully.
heroes are on the top of your list? You can just name one. Techies does not count because we just talked about that.
Pudge.
Would need a rework, and what would you do to change them? So Pudge. So what's the problem with Pudge right now? They got rid of the flesh heap regen, which was huge
What is the
for
problem
him,
with
right?
Pudge? He is the single worst hero in the game at doing literally everything.
Literally.
Literally everything. You pick a job to do, and he does it better. Somebody does it better than Pudge.
So hooking someone.
Yes, Clockwork does that better.
And Vengeful Spirit swapping does it better for
Yes.
relocation.
And Batrider and Tiny,
Right.
the best hero in Dota, arguably.
But you don't have more fun playing them. You still have more fun playing Pudge, even if he
I
sucks.
don't know. I don't actually agree with that anymore. I
Really?
Think, I think it's not so fun.
Okay. All right, we'll have to. This will be like an ongoing thing. We can develop as time goes on because I have a real
I have an idea
real good one.
that Dazzle should be reworked.
Really?
Why?
I just think
More of a right clicker?
Fundamentally, he's like in this limbo where he's actually. I think it's actually bad that he can be played as core and support. I think he needs to be clearly made a core or clearly made a support.
Why?
Because he's not a hero like Lena that has like a super strong laning stage or like does something very specific against other heroes. Like she counters, since she attacks fast, she counters Phoenix and stuff. Dazzle's like an all-around kind of just does stuff hero.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to be really good at whatever he does. Otherwise, he's just never going to be good. Does that make sense? Like he doesn't niche
You're
specialize.
saying
in
Dazzle
anything.
does like the same thing every game.
He
no
does
matter
he
what.
does a lot of little things.
But he doesn't do any of them.
like
the
a little
best.
bit of damage, a little bit of pushing, a little
so
bit
you
of
think
healing.
he's a jack of all trades,
Yes,
master of none.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
And if the hero's not specifically good at one role, then he's just not specifically good at anything. Thus, he's.
But
either
couldn't you just buff certain aspects of him to
Well,
accomplish
I'm saying
that?
at that point he'll be picked every game. He's either unpickable.
So you think he's
or
on the
pickable.
verge of being OP?
I'm saying that if they were to buff his numbers, he would be OP. Like if they gave him like 6 or 7 base damage, that hero would be broken. But like at the same time, I don't want heroes that are either useless or broken. And I think his.
So I mean,
toolkit
I like the idea of having heroes that are played 2 ways or more. So fundamentally, I disagree, but I think sometimes it's probably too difficult to maybe balance a hero
The
for
thing
that.
about Dazzle is, even say he was picked mid every single game, since he is the kit he has, you can go so many different items that the hero can be like so unrecognizably different from game to game. Like I think Greaves are broken, but after that, like the items can vary so widely.
You're saying that's a good or a bad
I'm
thing?
saying that's a good thing because his playstyle will differentiate because of his
Mhm.
item choices rather than like the hero.
I see.
The fact that he
So
has
if you make
50%
him-
cooldown, you can make so many
Right.
items work in any situation.
So if you cater him to be like a mid laner, it would be more exciting to watch in general because nobody
Yes.
cares about watching supports, generally speaking. Plus, he's been a support for almost the entire lifetime of the hero, both in Dota 1 and
Yeah.
Dota 2.
yeah,
I
sometimes
can
you go
see that.
Necro, sometimes you go Greaves, sometimes you'll go like
Right.
you know, Deso Ags or something, you know, like
Okay.
make that build viable. It's just like one of those things.
I think
where-
you've sold me. I mean, as long as it's core and not support, because core is so fun to watch.
Yeah, Core Dazzle's super hilarious.
I feel like he just got reworked too recently that it's not going to happen again.
Well, it's just like as a support, his ult used to be sick because it used to give vision and like AOE minus and plus
See,
armor.
this is where the conversation will tend to, for me, to stray towards Snapfire, because you can tell they're trying to introduce more core mechanics into this hero, but they're not, like, level 20 and 25 are too high of talents.
It's kind of
to
like the
get
opposite
to.
of Sven, where like the talents are really OP, but you get them so late it doesn't really matter.
Like, I think if Snapfire had, if you took those talents, obviously they're super broken.
Bump
if they
them
don't,
down.
bump them down 1 each, the hero is a core, 100%.
Oh,
yeah.
it's broken.
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's a
Like
core.
the little shredder thing, that is beyond broken if you can get to it. But the problem is, like, as support, you're never going to get to the 25, right? But let's get back into the draft. We have the same exact lineup so far
Who picked
for
first here?
Team 0. Chen Leshrak.
Who picked first? I'll know in the second round, but I believe it was Zoomers who picked second. I would guess because they have CM against Chen.
You'd think so.
I will say that. How do I word this?
This is when you know it's real negative.
There's like 8 supports in the game that fit Drow. It's like Bane, Undying, Ogre,
You don't think CM's one of them?
Because CM Drow, what do you think is going to happen to him?
She can go right click.
Well, what
They're
if
just
it's-
going to
what
get
if it's-
dove.
What if he's saying Drow needs somebody
Drow
running,
needs a
running
support
in
that's
front,
in
and lane.
front of her.
running
yeah.
in front. I think. What if? I mean, what if it's like a well? I mean, what if it's a 4 CM against the Chen, and then you get like a clock 5?
If they pick a melee 5, I'll change my mind.
I think that's what's
Okay.
happening. I think this
Does
is
Frostbite still last longer on creeps?
yes.
Yes, it still will
This
pretty
will
much one-shot
This
the
will kill
creeps,
the
yeah.
creep. I think this is either a 5 CM being played in the off lane, with Ocean playing a 4 clock in the safe lane, or 5 clock. But
What scared me is the 4 positions that just kill the Drow, and they immediately have banned the Clock Tusk. So at least they're definitely on the same page as me, where the Drow is potentially vulnerable to that.
see, that makes me worried that it is a CM Drought lane. Though.
Yeah, I know.
because those heroes like all own.
Well, there you go.
I feel like he's gonna be playing a lot in the safe lane with the Drow.
Yeah, if they pick an independent offlaner,
Is there any way this is I mean, I don't know the last time I've seen a true tri-lane, but a pseudo tri-lane at times?
I am down for Monkeys to get last pick here.
What do you think they last pick him?
Because
Bat
Lesh
Rider?
is already revealed.
that
It
banned?
could easily be a mid laner. Gunner's pretty good at, like, he first picks in pubs all the
He'll
time.
be fine. Yeah,
he'll
be fine.
And I think since it's so important to tri-lane this Drow, at least pretty early, I think giving Monkeys a hero like that can reliably do that. Because earlier what we saw was the tri-lane against Timber. Remember that?
Yep.
And the important part about that was Tide was picked into a PA Lion or
Right.
PA Mag lane,
Yep.
where you could leave your offlaner alone, which allowed them to do that. So I think that opportunity also needs to be available to 4 Zoomers. I personally hate Slardar against Drow, but if they're going for a kill lane and looking to dive with the chin, I think it's very scary. One of the scariest diving heroes
So
in the
I
game.
was going to say that Lesh could potentially be held on to be an actual off lane instead, but with
Not
this
against
pick,
Drow.
not against Drow. Okay.
I want it against melee heroes,
Hmm.
Lesh, because you want heroes, like the way Lesh works is I'm going to kill you before you kill me, because I just have Edict and my ult going off. So against Drow, it's annoying because she actually outranges your own damage.
I was gonna say I feel the same way about like Lesh versus PA that I do with like Drow versus Lesh. It's like you just sit there and right click Lesh and he runs away from you and he dies, or he runs towards you and he dies.
So you think Drow is good against
I think
Lesh?
Drow is good against Lesh.
Okay.
I think Lesh will feed a Drow.
And you also
if
think
the-
Lesh is bad against PA?
I do.
Okay.
In lane. I think in game Drow destroys.
I genuinely
or sorry,
believe
Lesh destroys PA.
if I were in NA, my experience has been I've struggled with Lesh against PA. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure in EU I would not have that same struggle because they group up so much earlier. I'm saying like in NA it's hard to hit timings, and I'm not actually trying to bash the region. It's
Yeah,
really
I love
it's
how
really
careful,
hard.
I love how
It's
careful
really
you
hard
are now.
to hit timings in NA because people just aren't willing to 5-man with you. You will never have a Sven hitting that tier 1 with you as
It's
a
like
Lesh.
saying no offense, but
Please.
No, I'm
You-
saying
you
that
are.
that,
I
that
swear to God, you are.
playstyle-
Please.
I'm saying that playstyle is not an option. People don't play that way. So I'm saying in matchups where it's crucial to hit a super early timing, it doesn't work in NA. But in EU, I also don't want to pick Battle Fury carries because I don't get stacked for it. It's like
This
the
is
same
true.
thing.
This
It's
is
like
true.
the strategy ain't going to work.
See, that's the thing is like there's always this argument like one is better than the other. It's just bullshit.
In this specific
It's
case,
just
I am
bullshit.
actually saying they go for Monkeys Forever Bat Rider, and I believe we will be seeing. What do we see? Eternal Envy with like the Lifestealer. Okay, I was gonna say just some hard lane counter.
Slardar plus the Lifestealer versus Drow.
mm-hmm.
I don't
Super
love
good.
Lifestealer versus Drow specifically, but
With the Slardar, I think it's.
I mean, let's just say with Lifestealer versus the other 3 heroes, really 4 position
I think
Lesh.
with the Slardar, that's super good. It's like Lena
Absolutely.
Slardar. You've got the
Okay.
the chain stuns.
It's like a weaker laning version, but you take towers super
Now,
early.
if you do have Lesh mid, you need a support still. Now, what do you guys think of Nyx against Bat Riders? Is it still as hard of a counter as it used to be?
I think-
want,
I like that. I mean, you also have you can carapace like the Drow or Spirit like CM. All of these heroes have like AOE spells that you can carapace.
I would personally be upset if they don't pick a hero that goes on Drow. I do not want that responsibility to solely fall
Some sort
on
of like
Slardar.
more reliable jump hero. Yeah,
I'm
like-
saying a hero that it doesn't even have to be like a stun. It can just be a hero that goes on the Drow. Like
Sure.
even like a Void Spirit could work. Like
Sure.
something that just goes on the Drow. That's all I want. Because for Drow, the worst thing about her is if she has to run away all the time. If she's allowed to stand there doing damage,
If
She's
this
scary as
is a
hell.
Lesh mid, how does that feel as a hero this game? compared to last?
I would say it's much worse against Drow
I think
Batrider.
I think Lesh can die this game a lot easier, for sure.
It's not just that he can die. It's like in the other game, if he did die, he's like taking them with him.
Sure.
But in this game, he's just getting lassoed full to 0 and just dying.
Yeah, you sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
or
what I
or it's
think
like
is
Earth Spirit, and
happening.
Earth Spirit doesn't care if he dies for a Lesh trade
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would much prefer them move it to a support. I'm curious to see what they do.
my gut says, because hearing what you said about Team Zero, that they're just kind of like winging it and
YOLO.
having fun. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like this is just Ryoya saying, yeah, just first, it's easy. Just first pick me, my hero. I'll play it fine. Just get Lesh. Like Lesh is a good hero.
Now, I think it's Brack still drafting, if I'm not mistaken. Can't see myself right now, but he's been drafting for them as of late. Not sure if that
Yeah,
changes anything.
my gut says they're not doing any crazy mind games or something. They're just going with like what's easy and playing what they like.
Is that like mind games though? Like you just pick a hero and you're willing to flex it?
I mean, that is a mind game.
I mean,
I don't think it's crazy though. It's
I
just
don't-
like
I-
Lesh can be a 4.
I feel like they're not having in-depth talks about like openers and flex picks and all of these things. From the sounds of things, and they're literally called Team for fun, and they're like just
No,
kind
but
of
they're
a step.
still. I mean, when the match begins, they're trying.
How does that
right?
feel to be 4 Zoomers then? If this team just gets thrown together, they're for fun, they're waving in your face, they're not actually trying.
Yeah.
Well, that's a strength as well, though. So I mean, if you're 4 Zoomers, they've been around the block, they've seen this sort of stuff work. Like sometimes it only works for a couple of weeks.
I am so fascinated by that Timbersaw ban because I feel like Slardar amp plus Lesh, you're just dead at like 8 minutes.
Can
into
I
the game.
commend the 4 Zoomers logo? That is a really good logo.
It is. They
actually?
rebranded it.
That's real. I don't know what it used to look like, but
They used to have like a chicken thing. Remember that?
chicken.
It was like a
It was a chicken.
It was like a chicken roasted for Thanksgiving type of thing.
With turkey. It
I-
was a
And
big
what was that?
gobbler.
but
What-
it looked
what was
like,
the
it
point?
looked like a chicken, but
What
it
did
was
that
like
mean?
a Thanksgiving looking thing.
Does that have
That's
anything to
why
do
I
with
was
4
confused.
Zoomers?
No.
It was just random.
It was a
very
big,
random.
big girthy turkey that they had there.
See, like this
Oh.
is like if they had a true org. This is actually a legit logo. No joke.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, please prove me right here just once. Just some mobile hero that jumps the drow, please. See?
Oh, what a delicious girthy
All right,
turkey.
we're looking at we're
It
looking
looks
at the
like a
old logo.
chicken to me,
It's
man.
a turkey in a pot or pan, whatever, with a fire underneath.
It makes literally no sense.
Yeah, that's
Well, to me, what this artistically is saying is that's cooking a turkey.
And that's what they're going to do to their opponents?
winner chicken dinner.
No,
Is that what it's supposed to mean?
No, I wouldn't go.
No,
that
it's
far.
turkey dinner.
I wouldn't
Turkey
go that
dinner?
far.
Is that a different meaning?
No.
Okay,
Tiny.
Just as we predicted, Tiny coming in hot here.
This could also be a mid-tiny or a 4-tiny.
Right.
I actually would like it to be a mid-lesh in this case. if
I
they're
have a
gonna pick
weird
4-tiny.
question for you guys.
Yep.
Stop asking.
Is it against the rules? I don't think it's against the rules to share your hero because I've seen people micro for other people before.
It's not
right?
against the rules, no.
So, is there any benefit to sharing your hero
If you're
to
TA.
to switch things up to get in the mind of the enemy? You know
If
what I
you're
mean?
Oh!
Like the flex picks. This is the ultimate mind
I don't
game.
think you can actually buy items
The
for your
problem
hero.
is, items.
buy this item for me, please.
And also,
Yeah,
when
that
you
is-
when you click select hero, oh, what do they pick?
I don't know.
They
What
picked Morphling.
Oh, they pick Morphling.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
a very good Morphling
Good
game.
morph game. Yeah, not much to.
I actually like 4 Zoomers again. I actually like them more than last game.
Okay.
But the CM Drow lane might have some issues. They're going to have early problems. If their 2 side lanes go okay, I like Zoomers here. But they could have a real issue where the Lifestealer just gets left alone, free farming, and the Drow's getting messed with for like 5 minutes straight. Which
Jenkins.
could be a problem.
Make it quick, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say for fun. I'm gonna go for fun again on that. I think their tempo lineup
All right.
is good.
So it's split 1-1. We'll be back after a short break to find out who wins game 2. Well, we have to watch the game, and then we'll find out who wins game 2. Welcome back, friends. I know that that extra 5 seconds that was added onto the timer was brutal. You can blame BSJ. He was AFK. You have no excuse, young man.
That rhymed.
Not intended.
He was wasting our time all day.
Oh, boy. Let's have a rap battle, guys. It's like every other conversation.
It's literally Jenkins every day. Rap battle goes?
Envy.
Nobody.
Oh, he's going to have to pop that rage pretty early.
He honestly didn't even have to do that, I
Yeah.
don't think. But he was. It's hard to know exactly where that roll was coming from
He
because
actually
Earth
eats-
Spear was smoked.
Did he eat a tango? Is that even necessary?
I think he
No, it's
some
quelling.
QB'd
Quelling?
it through.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just cutting them down.
All right, all right.
Getting those little paths open so you can get those pulls off. Or
What do you guys think of
Shen?
Lifestealer these days? Because I can't remember. Was it like a year ago at this point that they changed the way that Rage worked and his Feast
I
and all
enjoy
that?
Lifestealer. I like this one way better.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like the damage obviously isn't there from Feast as it used to be, but the attack speed it feels like more of a quality of life change.
Well, he
for
scales
the
way
hero.
better than he used to because now that once he gets items, he will do damage. But before, he didn't really scale that well with damage items because
Right.
like his Feast was most of his damage. That's
Yeah.
why you saw the Radiance and stuff. But I think the new Lifestealer, it executes the same way in the early game, but it scales differently. And I think that was how Ice Frog had originally intended Lifestealer. He wasn't meant to be this annoying Radiance builder. He was meant to be this guy that's going to click you down and feast upon your life.
BSJ, do you remember who it was that was going Radiance on Lifestealer before anybody else was?
Yeah, some loser.
Was there anybody in particular that you would like to mention?
I don't know who it was.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
Well, why is
Nobody
that considered
remembers.
such a bad thing? That was good for a while, wasn't it?
It was good. I'm saying it just I didn't like the style that it brought to the game,
I see.
even though I did it.
So it was you, yes.
It was him.
Wow, shocker.
Everybody flamed him for
So
it.
they're aggro
Oh,
tri-laning on the
that's-
side of 4 Zoomers. I actually like this move a lot. Normal lanes looked real ass to me. So they're electing to swap it up. Will they?
Yeah, will they counter swap?
Yes, exactly.
And how long do you think you stick with the pseudo tri-lane? Like, is it more start as a tri-lane, get dominance, and then Earth Spirit just goes off and tries to gank other lanes? Like, what's the scenario for 4 Zoomers that they're looking for in this?
They basically have to monitor the Tiny. That's the big thing. As long as I think if Earth Spirit mirrors the Tiny, everything's good in the world for them. But the thing that they do have to be careful of is if Earth Spirit TPs anywhere other than bottom, then Tiny can kind of just ruin Drow's day. So for now, it looks like he's kind of just camping. Doesn't really have a play mid. Morphling's not a hero you gank for at level 2. So it seems that he is content to let the Batrider basically get the same treatment he would have gotten bottom, but instead he's getting it top. I feel like this still favors For Fun.
I feel like it favors Zoomers because they have Morph against no good
another-
Morph counters.
Another Rage.
Morph against Lifestealer, which is a counter. And then you have a Drow Morph lineup. Like, they're going to win the late game, right? So if you're just playing static, they're totally cool with this.
That is true.
If the lanes are 1-for-1, Zoomers
I mean, I was the one that
prefer it.
predicted their draft, so I'm on the same page as you now.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, I'm picking up what you're
But
putting down.
talk to me about this Lesh versus Morph matchup.
It's heavily more favored.
Heavily.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where both heroes will get farm, but Morph scales against the matchup.
We're going to see the toss into the Mist Split Earth, unfortunately, for Team 0. Some residual damage to Gunnar as he gets blocked by his own creeps. Typical.
Like, eventually he turns into you and just pops Edict and then turns back into himself and gets your tower and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is a match. It's not, okay, when I say heavily favored, Morphling outscales them, both get farm in the lane. So if Tiny manages to get like 1 or 2 random pickoffs on the Morph mid-game, it could easily sway that momentum in the Leshrax's favor.
That's the annoying thing about Morph mid, though, is like it's this carry hero in the mid lane, and Leshrac, to some degree, is like that, but not like Morphling. Morphling can pop off and like solo carry the game 1v5. Like, he's a true carry, and you can't get away with it in a lot of mid lanes. But against Leshrac, you absolutely
Yeah, so you basically
can.
have 2 carries on the side of
exactly, yeah.
4 Zoomers, and then that means there's just a time limit, right, for Team 0, I would assume.
Definitely.
I mean, they definitely have the push aspect going for them. You have a lot of jump with eventually Slarter getting a blink, I assume. But Lifestealer, like you talked about, he scales better, but in this game, like, you can't out-carry a Morphling Drought, right?
Lifestealer is incredibly bad versus Morphling. Like, that matchup is terrible.
It's like impossible, yeah.
You get free rages, so
But
like
then again, it is a Slardar Lifestealer. Like when that hero was trending for a bit there out of Mega League, it was like Slardar, Magnus. Like, these heroes really do change carry matchups, and I think with the Drow also. Okay, maybe Snake King.
Well, Adaptive Strike will hold him at bay. Ava, toss, back in. Split Earth will miss
Dude,
again, unfortunately.
Gunner is just mechanically playing super well in this lane, dodging these stuns.
He wouldn't be able to do that if he was living in California.
Where does he live?
He lives in,
You can give the state.
I believe, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
He's in one of,
Okay.
one of those states.
He's sitting on a fresh like 12 ping.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good location. Actually does really suck for West folks.
It's really sad. That's kind of cool. Moo's got the purge creep, so it gets frostbitten and he just purges it off himself.
Moo's so happy with himself, dude.
He's like, hey, got him. That's exactly what he sounds like, by the way.
Shout out to our favorite observer, Pop-Tart, who eats frozen Pop-Tarts. Just wanted to throw that out there for everybody to know. I gave him a lot of shit for it when I first met him. I considered it a deficiency of his, but I have tried it since, and I'm not going to lie, it's quite good, as much as I hate to admit it. Quite delicious, and I don't even like Pop-Tarts.
Got to give people more credit where it's due.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't knock it till you tried it. Is
Just like
the
I
moral
thought
of that
Logan
story.
Bupped was a dumbass for spamming a bat, and it just turns out the hero was actually broken. Got to give people a bit more credit.
So, I mean, he clicked his abilities, right? So what is that the equivalent of Pop-Tart? You know, eating
I actually have
frozen
no idea where
Pop-Tarts?
you're going with this.
I don't know either. I just know that you and him are solo Masons at the same time.
He is a liar and cannot be trusted.
If anybody hasn't played One Night Werewolf, it is literally the best party game of all time. Not even close. Keep going back to it despite trying all these new board games that come out. There's nothing that compares.
Can I say, Pop-Tart to me is the second most successful sociopath in the Dota 2 scene.
Really? You think so?
Who's
Let's
first?
talk about that.
Who's first? Well, I value my life, so I won't mention who is first, but I think you know exactly who I'm referring to.
Slacks?
Not gonna put that one out there.
Go ahead.
I would like to be
Finish your thought, Jenkins. Don't let anybody interrupt you.
Okay, well, I
Feel
was
free to tell the public who you think it is.
God specifically said, Jenkins, no talking about murdering on the
He had
stream.
to reel you in, huh?
He did. He said, tone it down a little bit. And
His
here
contract comes with stipulations.
it does.
Am I the only one that has not been talked to about reeling it in? Maybe I'm just...
I can't believe that you're just beyond control.
They know they can't control the beast within.
Yeah. The monster's coming out, the darkness,
Yes,
the shadow.
absolutely.
Yes,
Are we
yes.
talking about his trips to the bathroom? Or are we talking
Yeah.
All
about
right,
his cast?
we talked about not discussing this, okay? I just want to throw it out there. I never bring this up anymore, but others feel the need because it is hilarious. I would love to discuss it in detail with you, but no one likes it, okay? Nobody else likes it. Just like
Really?
nobody liked the S-tier Whataburger choice, which is definitely
Maybe
correct.
Look at this Batrider skill build. He's got the 2-1-0 going. That's fascinating.
I've seen him do this
What's his recovery plan?
on occasion. Dude, the level 1 flame break's pretty bad. 2-second duration, you
Dude,
get 2 ticks.
Dude, it's that 30 impact damage for the last hitting.
Isn't it 70 impact damage?
It's literally 30.
Was it 30?
Look at it. Look at Flame Break.
Pop-Tart, can you go ahead and
Can you go
click
back to
on that
Flame
again?
Break? Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart's the observer, by the way, in case you guys missed it.
Oh, it's 30. Oh, jeez.
If he gets it to level 2, then it's...
Oh, it's
60.
70 total.
Put the second damage... Put the second point in it, dude.
If you're going to get 1 point, I feel like the second is mandatory.
That's the problem with Batrider.
All
of his
abilities
skills are just shitty level 1.
Yeah.
So the response from 4 Zoomers was essentially not to do anything about that switch up. So they're happy with Envy being up top. You guys think that's the correct decision?
Yeah, I think I think this is fine. Like I said, I really feel like if they're just passive in the game and nothing is happening, they're cool with this.
Well, the way you have to think about it is that Drow needs a lot of babysitting. So you can't afford to give anyone else babysitting. So Batrider, even though he could use help, they're just leaving him on his own island because he
Right.
functions that way better than Drow. And then this last pick Morphling is so good because you've seen how much space he's creating by Snaking feeling pressured to go mess with him. And in return, now Sammy Boy is actually having a really nice start, which was my main concern in the draft. So I actually like the way 4 Zoomers have played this really well. They're doing a good job this game. Monkeys Forever, he'll get what he gets. That's a level 25 Dota plus Batrider, people.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
This guy knows exactly how to play any and all situations.
That's the first nice thing I've heard you say about Monkeys Forever. Anyway, off your point,
He is a full level behind, by the way. I just want to mention
That's
that.
expected.
He'll
He's
be
a hard
fine,
countered
yeah.
in lane. That's the point
But
of this
off-
Lifestealer pick.
off your point, Lifestealer doesn't need babysitting at all. So
Right.
most of the time. So 4 Zoomers, they would be babysitting Drow either way. But I think with Lifestealer up here, it lets you know, Lifestealer's doing fine. He would be doing fine no matter where he is.
Well,
But
the
Drow
point
wouldn't
for me
necessarily.
is that not only does Drow usually need babysitting, but since you also know that Lifestealer will need absolutely no help, you know the opponent can dedicate all of their resources to other lanes. Thus, your Drow needs even more babysitting
Yeah,
than
exactly.
she would need normally. So the fact that they're making this smoke gank is a bit nerve-wracking for me, but Sammy Boy manages to keep his composure together for 10 seconds and does not feed out of position.
Congratulations.
Good job, Sammy Boy.
He's done it.
I do like his skill build, hyper aggression on the Frost Arrows. He knows he's going to be stuck laning a lot early game just because his supports are forced to play around him here. So he's going for the build that most favors that.
Monkeys
so far,
forever.
good
Looks
stuff
like he's
coming
going to get ganked here. Snake King doesn't really have enough damage
Got
to
a
actually follow
3-on-3
this
bottom
up.
lane. CM might be feeding. Oh, nope. It turns out Ocean is the one feeding.
Yeah, Ocean ends up going down to that Pulse Nova from Ryoya.
All in the name of Sammy Boy.
I mean, looking at the mid CS in terms of the Lesh versus Morph, relatively even in terms of just the last hits, but Deny is a little bit ahead for Gunnar. Is this a surprise? You said that this is Morphling favored.
I said both will farm, but Morph scales better. So
Right,
this looks
okay.
according to
So
what
it's
I
an
would
even
expect.
lane then.
Eventually, well, what I'm saying is that since it's heavily, I said heavily favored to Morph because eventually Lesh does absolutely nothing to Morph.
Mm-hmm.
So Morph gets to sit in his lane. Lesh doesn't really want to rotate. Notice how he's not even going for the points in W because he knows he can't really rotate for towers because by the time he's like pressuring those towers, Morphling's already hitting his tier 1.
Right.
So it's kind of like a game plan counter rather than, you know, Morphling shuts down Lesh or something. Which, compared to last game, is a massive difference.
And
right?
what does Gunnar have to be scared of this game in general? Like you have
tiny
to
blink pretty much.
the blink into crush into any kind of burst damage, which they don't really. I mean, Avatos, I guess.
Wait, he just died mid on Gunnar. Solo.
Really?
Gunnar just died solo to Ryoya by.
Dude,
Wow.
I was about to say I don't understand the 3 points in stun, but it's just enough damage to catch him from fog and burst him down.
Well, the thing I thought about Edict is its physical damage. So Morphling's got like no HP and 20 armor. So
True.
it makes sense that if he wants to at all contest the Morphling, that he should be maxing all of his other abilities. But that's pretty crazy to me. I think Gunnar had. With Morphling in a game like this, you have to fuck up to die. Like, there's actually just no other way you're going to die. So, whatever the replay is, obviously, Ryoya did a good job of capitalizing on Gunnar's lack of awareness for the split second. That's all it takes. But that is definitely a mess up on his part, as well as a good play by Ryoya.
So he's won the lane.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. But he does. It is a Morphling, right? So he'll
You know,
be back.
I can 100% see Gunnar being like, dude, he's got 3 points in stun or something.
It's a pretty good impression.
It's a good heads-up play. We see 2 games of Lesh from Ryoya, 2 completely different playstyles and skill builds, which indicates really good understanding of the hero.
He's a hero spammer, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Ryoya is all about spamming. Oh, now Monkeys gets to do his creep cutting.
As long as OD's not in the meta, man, I can stand Ryoya in my club.
I mean, do you guys know what else he's playing these days? Is this his?
Plays a lot of Storm and pubs, but I don't think it's very good and competitive.
Because going to
Sapphire mid,
as we
he's-
move on
he's one
mid,
of
like
the-
this week, you can expect probably some Lesh bans if they end up winning this
I think
series.
so. Gets the morph off. Just safe.
This is one of the few times where I've felt ahead of the meta. I thought Lesh was really good and nobody else was picking it, so it feels good to see it in these games. Feels validating.
Man, he's gotten like 15 buffs in a row. It's actually nuts.
Dude, the level 1 Lightning Storm is a huge deal.
He's gotten damage buffs on everything.
Going from
range,
80 to 90 is a
mana.
huge deal, by the way, because most heroes hit for about 60. So having that discrepancy in damage go from 80 to 90,
And another faded brooch for Lesh. Unbelievable.
the dream.
2 games in a row.
100% win rate, actually.
That's right.
From what I've noticed.
Looks like he will be going for the Yules. But this is something we didn't have time to discuss last game. Is we're going to see Gunnar
Dude,
kind of
Gunnar
tank up
is
here
just-
mid.
This is exactly what he's supposed to do while Lesh rotates. I like this
so
a lot.
annoying. Yeah, it's so annoying.
But I like that both the supports on 4Fun are saying, get out of my tower, we're going to deny it from you.
Yeah, they'll get
He
the
gets
deny.
it, though. I mean, that's really...
It's still really important that he gets it,
Yeah.
but they did a good job of like knowing it's not Leshrak's job to deal with that. This is an example of supports knowing, okay, the core wants to be pressuring, he wants to be taking towers of his own, so if anybody's going to defend this, it has to be us.
We have a little bit of a
Ocean?
stack going on, but yeah, Ocean looks to be Dunzo via Ryoya's Pulse Nova.
Oof. Going the Yule Scepter build, I have seen this a decent amount.
Oh, Gunnar
on
loves this build.
It's basically a poor man's
On
Manta.
Morphling?
Yeah, poor man's
Yeah.
Manta.
Wow. Okay.
It's like a utility Manta. Like, you're not expecting to be the carry of the team. which is fascinating since it's a last pick morph. But
So dispelling amplified damage, or corrosive haze, as it's called now.
yes, it's a dispel that doesn't give you the damage.
Right.
I mean, he can also like
interesting.
steal a Shrek, steal Tiny,
Oh
steal
yeah, you can do
Slardar,
Yule stun on.
and you'll stun.
Hmm.
But
That's pretty cool.
it's definitely next level.
But it means
Sumail
he's
did
not
it
going to
first.
scale as greatly, right?
Yeah.
As he normally would.
To be fair, Sumail did it first. I watched him do it a lot. He does it almost any like he plays mid and carry morph, and he does it on both. He goes Yule's E-Blade. That's his build.
Gunnar trading right clicks with Envy. No one's
What
really
is
gaining any ground. We just watched a whole
It's a
lot
very
of nothing.
standard Morphling Lifestealer matchup before Morph gets items.
Yeah.
I hit you, you hit me. I morph, you just lifesteal.
Oh, Avatos onto Monkeys. Looks like they're going to find another kill.
There's the one.
Yeah.
There's the
Yeah.
one.
One per game.
I found it.
Monkeys. The worst thing about that is that he's validating Brian, and I have to just hear it all the time.
I guarantee you guys, watch Monkeys. You'll see it once per game.
Guys, let me tell you about how important pushing the mid wave is. Let me go ahead and tell you.
Whoa there. That is going a little deep. But looks like Ryoya will find one more kill. Sammy Boy trying to keep them at bay, but not able to do
The
a whole
turn
lot.
potential's there. The slows.
Yeah, but the crush,
Oh my
infest
God, the
crush, I should say.
sustain.
Another kill going the way of For Fun. They'll lose the
Gun
Tiny
Daddy?
in the meantime. Gunnar getting
Monkeys is
extremely
back.
low. Monkeys
fight
with a
was so
nice
long.
lasso into the tier 2 tower. Brax gets the crush off before inevitably dying. So ends up being trades left, right, and center as Envy's just going to rage TP.
Dude, this is
Wow.
the damage from Drow is just lacking right now. I
Yeah.
feel like he should do more. That's
Is he
weird.
still working on the stack, or did he finally get it?
Huh.
Yeah,
he
he finally
got
got
it.
it.
I just feel like he should do more. I don't think that's like Samurai being bad. I don't know what's going on. I feel like that should just be more damage.
Armor? I suppose the
Oh, maybe they had a frost armor creep or something.
the Chen, yeah, the Chen
The mech,
plus
the mech
a
4
frost
armor.
or
Yeah, the
something.
mech giving AOE armor now is a big deal against Drow actually. Or it's +3 armor.
Chen has the faded brooch. What is this?
I would
What
be,
is this?
If this was my Chen, I would report him.
I actually don't mind this because like he really needs the mana. I feel like Chen, you want mana boots, but you need to
Supports
rush
can buy
mech.
clarities. I'm a Lesh. I want to move faster.
He's
But
you
what
know,
is Lesh holding right? Is he still
He's
have?
got
he still
the
have
he's
the?
got the
Keenoptic.
Keen
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he got
no.
rid of it. Wait, are they passing it off?
What's going on here, guys? He's
Well-
got something coming out of the courier.
Okay. We'll
Okay,
see,
wait.
We'll see.
This is my validation. Wait, what's Slardar's neutral item?
Well, Moo not fast enough with that faded brooch. Will end up dropping here.
Made him work
What's
for it.
Slardar's neutral item? I need to know. Oh, he doesn't have the Fated Brooch? Who has it? Oh, maybe they're giving it to Lesh. Damn it. This wasn't my validation.
Okay. Good.
I actually said I thought Slardar's the best Fated Brooch carrier in the entire game.
Slardar.
I would like to point out
Really?
he did
Yes,
actually
he has
did
uncapped
actually,
movement speed during sprint,
Right.
and it's percent based. So the Fated Brooch gives him 28
Right.
move speed.
And how much value is the mana for him? Is it that big of a deal?
That's pretty valuable. I
He
think
doesn't
that's-
buy mana regen
yeah.
items, so it's nice.
So Brian did say this to me earlier in the week, but when he said it, he called it Fated Broach, and I actually had to correct him, and I said,
I
Brian,
did not call it Fated Broach.
see, he said
That is actually the most random shit I've ever heard.
Now he's lying again. I don't know why you just make this.
Well,
shit
the
up.
tier 1 tower wasn't a lot of peril.
Where
Looks
do
like
you
they'll be able
come
to
up with
defend it
this
for
shit?
now as the Morphling attempting to get out at half HP right now, and they're just going to surround and consume Husky on the Crystal Maiden, and they're going to immediately smoke an attempt to chase as the bounty runes are now available. Gunnar able to take it for himself. Brax not with the blink. He's still quite a ways away from having that online.
I think that first death from Gunnar is making this game way harder. Because he's the one that's supposed to be playing in a way that prevents this from happening. And now the entire team, including himself, is kind of just getting ran at.
He's like the Rock.
Yes. Except he's made of water.
Yeah.
So he's not the
Well-
rock, he's like the puddle.
Rocks are actually made from water because in rivers.
Because of erosion?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow, well said.
The salt deposits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when Morphling gets red, shouldn't he harden a bit?
I
He's
think
getting
so.
tankier.
Yeah.
He becomes
Maybe
a
with
he
the-
becomes a metapod of sorts.
Maybe when they remodel, when Dota 3 comes out, that hero, they can do that. They can add all that good
Yes,
stuff.
Yes.
Alright.
As
Otherwise,
Sammy
Valve,
Boy is demoted to D pushing. Go
Valve
ahead.
are science deniers if they don't add that in there.
Oh no.
I'm personally not a believer in science.
Yes. We can see that. Didn't you work in the science field at one point?
Oh, he didn't get it
my goodness! Are you serious?
Isn't he guaranteed to get it off if he just pushes the button?
You literally press the
Wow.
button.
While you're in the air, right?
Yes.
So Brax has been dying a little bit, but it ends up trading for Morphling. This is 2 different times
I'm
now.
gonna have to talk to Gunnar later.
It's literally one click, that is
While you're in the air,
one
right?
click while you're in the air.
You don't have to time it or
It's
anything.
not like you don't have to spam it or anything. It's you press it once and it queues up.
Maybe that
automatically.
ping, guys. You know, that
No,
12
I'm
ping is not enough.
You press it
Needs
while
two.
you're in the
I'll
air.
invite him to my house in New York with 8.
He would have to have 2,500 ping for that to be a ping issue.
Maybe he had a spike.
I think he was trying to keep the invis. And he like underestimated the damage.
Right. Yeah,
It's
that
a
could be.
Lesh. How can you underestimate the damage?
No, ask Gunner.
It's literally a Lesh.
Well, speaking of Lesh, we'll be surrounded here by several members of
Now
Four
this
Zoomers.
is a classic Ryoya move. Is he gonna lasso?
Brax is here, but providing moral support if nothing else, and he might get caught out as well, actually. But reinforcements have arrived. Avalanche is going to connect, but Brax feeding his life away again. He is so far away from this blink. I feel like they need to, correct me if I'm wrong here, prioritize his farm to be able to get that Lifestealer Infest Bomb going.
This is the natural problem with Lifestealer. Is if I'm an offlaner and I have a Lifestealer, I just get shit on all game because the whole idea of Lifestealer is that he's like ungankable.
You
Like you
avoid
just
him.
can't kill this guy, so you spend your entire game messing with everyone else.
Yeah.
So this is very normal. Is all I can really
Well,
say
that
to
death was definitely avoidable.
Well, yes.
that
but
particular one.
I'm saying for the offlaner to particularly have a very bad game when he has a Lifestealer on his team is actually pretty normal.
Well, Roshan looks to be a freebie.
He's actually a 5-position slaughter. I don't know if you guys see these net worth.
Yep,
Honestly, this
he does
hero
look like it.
it's kind of easy to become the 5 position. He just does not farm.
That's why you
No.
queue up the Midas dog.
They'll trade Roshan for...
That's
wait,
the Luki build.
How did
did
Morphling
Morphling die again?
Can you like push enter and tell me how he
What?
died? Did he die to Roche?
Wait, who picked up... So Drow has Aegis, I assume?
Oh,
Roshan bashed him. Wow.
Dude, Gunner needs a pause.
Okay.
Gunner needs a pause.
He's tilted.
Okay, guys,
for sure.
I'm gonna call Gunner on Discord after the game. Don't worry about it. If we make it to a game 3, I'm calling Gunner on Discord and say, "Hey, buddy, nobody saw it. It's fine."
But
Chill.
we did mention it at some point.
But nobody saw it.
That's true. I
Thank
mean,
you,
maybe we
Pop-
did see it, we just didn't notice.
You know, we were bashing Pop-Tart for missing first blood earlier, but honestly, he's looking out for our boy Gunner's
Yeah,
mental
no
health right now.
doubt. All right, well, this tier 2 looks to be potentially a freebie. Although everybody is online
Does
now for
Batrider
Four
have a blink?
Zoomers.
Yes. he
Yes.
does.
No, he went Tranquil Drums, Blink. I've seen Monkeys has been going this build a lot more than the Travels.
All right, Gunner has turned into a Lifestealer himself.
Oh, gets
You
the
can see
target he
lasso.
wants.
Yeah,
CM
Ryoya.
ult.
Chen is going to heal him up to a decent
Trying
amount, but
to
now he's in the
infest.
middle of nowhere. Fest Bomb doing so much damage. It's a 1-for-0. CM buys back into the game immediately. Some way, somehow, Ryoya lives. It's going to cost Brax his life, but that's nothing new for this game. Rage
him.
TP
Hit
away.
Dude, they could have actually hit him all at the same time and he would have died, but they hesitated.
So 1-for-1. I mean, that's, like we said, position 5 Slarda right now. But the buyback on the CM.
Yeah, that's the thing about Lifestealer is he makes it hard to focus targets. It goes really well with Lesh for that reason. He would have died on Lesh if it weren't for that Infest health. 800 heal at this stage in the game. That's a lot.
It's just like added, isn't it? It's not percentage.
Yeah, it's just straight up
Just
added.
Straight up added.
Remember when that... No, he was a support hero with the Ags
That
when it
was-
first
Yeah,
came
for
out.
2 days.
That was the most absurd thing.
That was so stupid.
Well, yeah, it was 40% movement speed level 1 with like 600
I mean, they're going to
health.
change Ags 100% on that hero
Yeah,
as
the
well.
Axe is garbage enough.
Yeah, it's absolutely useless. Well, Split Earth will connect as Monkeys looks to be in a lot of trouble. That's going to be his death. And
Oh,
Sammy
Sammy.
Boy, kind of in the
Oh!
middle of everyone.
Oh!
He gets a nice multi-shot and able to force staff away. Hurricane Pike.
That guy beat VP.
He somehow lives there. So Snake King actually got the blink before Brax. So this is your Infest Bomb, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's a lot more damage, too.
Yeah, true. I honestly think prioritizing the tiny blink makes a lot of sense against Morph. It's just an insta burst. Even Drow can die to the tiny blink.
I'm not memeing. I'm pretty sure Slardar is supposed to buy a Midas here.
Really? This
I'm
late in the
pretty
game?
sure he will never have more than a blink.
Avatos! Not enough to get Sammy Boy as of yet. Envy going to try to focus, but the Hurricane Pike again keeping him safe as Envy is now inside of Ryoya, giving him the extra HP boost. But the burst damage is too much for Brax to control. It's going to be a trade for that Earth Spirit. Now Ryoya just getting completely kited. Envy, not sure if he has a TP available, but attempting to just run away with that Rage activated. Will be chased, does not have Infest for another minute.
Silence?
So they should be able to surround him, but there's the Ava. No toss to follow. Snake King, now he's going to get kited by Sammy Boy. He's extremely low, but I believe still has that Aegis.
Nice save by Snake King there. That was a sacrificial tiny play.
Yeah, for sure.
Got his boy Eternal Envy out.
You know, this Yules thing's pretty interesting, actually. Like, he jumped in, Yules, morphed all the way to strength in the 2.5 seconds, and then had a follow-up.
Yeah, no,
Stun
it's
almost.
legit. I saw Sumail do it, and I actually liked it, but even if I didn't like it or even see it, I would have known it was good since Sumail did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know
So
exactly
Sumail
what you
could
mean.
literally buy anything.
Yeah,
It would
he's
be
one
good.
of like those like 10 players that have like the clout enough that I trust it to be a good item build just by virtue of him doing it.
It's like
More
the,
than once. If he tried it once and didn't do it again, I wouldn't say that. But
The Thompson diffusal gyro.
well, that was like a very
was
situational thing. But yeah,
filthy.
still, that was filthy.
Moo was
Is he dead or
initiated
not?
on. Yeah, he's
Nope.
very low.
He's
but
good.
Shall survive.
That a heal aura.
Monkeys able to blink out, playing with his food a little bit there.
I don't know about this hood on Monkeys Forever. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, he's going for pipe. Just
you're-
Leshrac tiny, I
dude,
suppose.
you're against Slardar Lifestealer.
You think just like the force?
The burst damage from
rules?
Tiny. Into
Yeah,
Lesh.
you need like damage evasion, not damage mitigation. I think like you need the forces, the Yule Scepters, the BKBs. Like I don't know. I'm actually pretty upset with this item choice, but we'll see how it pans out for him. If he gets gone on by Lesh and survives, then I'll look like a dumbass, and Monkeys looks like a god, and that's cool. I'm just
Everybody
trying to,
wins.
I'm
Okay,
just trying to set
here-
us up for drama here.
Here's the
Oh, I wanted to talk about this, but go ahead.
Here's my argument. Morphling, Drow, or Agi heroes, they do not care about the physical damage. But
When
they,
Drow is on top, when they are on top of Drow, she has like 15 armor.
okay, Morphling.
When he morphs strength, he has like 3 armor.
Yeah, he's not. Come on. If you have a pipe, you don't need a morph strength. I'm just trying to make an argument. I'm not saying dude, I go blink force every game because I'm feeding so much. That's the only build that I can afford,
Yes.
right?
You are way too
Yes.
versed in this. It's actually unfair.
Yeah.
Like if I had somebody in my team that was feeding, I would actually say, "Can we sub Jenkins in?" so that somebody is
He's
who's
used
super
to being
he's so comfortable that he just knows exactly how to play it from there.
It's
You
like
know
the
what?
biggest backhanded compliment of all time.
That's okay. I'll take it. It's the best. I mean, I'm getting more compliments than Monkeys Forever is from DSJ. He's just shitting on him all game.
Hey,
Go
I
Celestia
straight up
first.
said of one thing that he does, and he's done it both games so far.
All right, so let's talk about this Ags on Lesh.
That wasn't a
'cause
shitting on.
when this item first came out, I actually rated it very low.
Which
Then
hero?
some people, Lesh Ags.
Okay.
Then some people started buying it. It was okay for a time. Then we completely disappeared. Now we're starting to see it
It's
kind of
pretty
ramp
sick
up
now.
again.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
sick.
Lightning Storm, a random target within, I forget the AoE.
It's 750.
So it's a large range, but
Yes.
it's random. It could be creeps.
No, but it prioritizes heroes.
Does it actually?
They made it prioritize
okay.
heroes.
So that's the difference then. Okay,
That's
so it
why
didn't used to be that way.
It did not used to
Okay,
start that
so
way.
I feel a little bit better about my.
Yeah,
Okay.
originally when it came out, if you were near a creep wave, it was
All right,
completely
looks like we're gonna have a big team fight here. Husky able to get off a pretty decent duration ult. In fact, might be a full one. Ends up being the first to die, however. It's gonna be the trade from Moo on the Chen. Monkeys Forever. Split Earth connects by Ryoya. And that means the team fight is going the way of For Fun. And they're gonna completely surround Mr. Drow Ranger.
Dire has some serious
Actually doesn't have the Aegis anymore,
damage
so it
issues.
expired.
Which is fascinating. Usually with Drow lineups, that's not a problem. What's fascinating to me is what I'm seeing is a bunch of bonus armor from items and creeps on the side of For Fun here.
Yeah.
Like, Tiny gets all of his from his ult. Chin has the mech plus, he keeps getting the frost armor creep.
Possibly Ogre. He even has a whatever the hell that thing is called, the stat item. Gives him a bunch of agi.
Yep, and
Cut.
then, well, the Agi
Pupils
armor
gives.
doesn't actually matter.
The Frost
And
Creep
then
is
you have
hideous.
the Leshrac, who has the armor
Oh, you're saying
talent.
plus armor for Drow.
Yes,
I
I'm
see,
talking
I
about
see.
Drow lineup specifically. And then you have the Armlet Lifestealer, right? All these heroes are just building armor.
And then
items.
Brax is dying.
Yeah, and then Brax is 5 position. So
Yeah.
He does have a blink now, though.
he has a bracer. Yes.
But finishing our thoughts on the Lesh Ags, it's not a full Lightning Storm. It's just one singular target, so it does
Yeah.
not bounce at all. But it still applies the slow, and I believe the talent upgrades will also
Yes.
work, right?
The
Yes.
level 25 talent with it makes it do 385 damage, which
Yeah.
is pretty nuts.
Yeah, pretty crazy. If you can get to level 25, obviously.
Yeah, Lesh actually hits 25 decently often.
Oh, the Yules. See if they have enough damage to burst through them. This might be enough. It is. Good lord. 60 seconds on the deck for
Husky just
Gunner.
stands completely still.
CM. I mean, it's a CM. What are you gonna-
Yeah, he knows.
One of the lowest move speed heroes in the game, time after time. Ice Frog not showing any love. And now with the Slardar, as Pop Tart is indicating, they could look for Roshan. That'll be a very fast one. They might take the tier 2 first,
Oh, is
though.
that what he was indicating? I thought it was like emulating tournament. Go Roshan! Go Roshan! Roshan!
Oh, Monkeys might get caught out as well. That is a 3 for nothing. As 4 Zoomers just
I think
continuing
they
to
keep
just...
going. I mean,
They
there's
could,
2 people
yeah.
alive.
Absolutely.
We were talking about Gunnar being the salt deposit for his team here, and it's just not working out.
Uh-oh,
Look at
Sammy
Envy, see
boy. The
that's their
crush is
base.
in. Avatos to follow, and this is going to be a full team wipe. As
Is he
CM has revived.
He's not out.
All they lose is Brax, but they're
And he just
okay
keeps
with that.
Walking straight through the enemy base like it's his. He just does not care at this moment.
Yeah, but the thing is, when Gunnar dies, the rest of his team is so... They just get ran at. Who on the 4 Zoomer squad are you afraid to run at? Other than
Diabolic
Morphling,
Edict.
right? So it's like...
I mean, even when Morphling is alive right now, are you really that scared? He has an E-Blade, but
what I'm
it's an E-Blade
saying is, like,
Yules.
he kind of threatens you, right? So it's like, you can't be too confident. But see how they're kind of
Dude, look
forced
at
to
the
run away
armor
with
creep.
Gunnar.
Right.
He's so tanky.
The second Gunnar dies, though, the entire team
Oh,
is under
Avatos to try to
threat.
counter the lasso. It's going to be successful, at least for now. Monkeys forever in a lot of peril. And actually, Gunnar might be the one caught out. The Split Earth connects again, trying to strength morph as
Kill
much as he can.
him!
But he is dead again. 60 seconds,
so
no
low!
Gunnar.
He's so
Ryoya
low!
somehow lives.
Oh my
How is
God.
this goat alive?
That's just the mech and the chin,
Good
man.
Lord.
Oh, it's so... Oh, he also has the Nether Shawl. Oh, Monkeys.
And now we're seeing the Ags really
Yeah.
go to work here.
If you ever see somebody alone, they just die if you have Ags.
I love the blink too. The follow-up blink after the eggs. Just get right on top of somebody who's isolated.
It's just gap closing. That's all they need to do, right? I
Yeah,
said
if-
they
if-
needed a hero that runs at the drow, and he just goes Ags blink, so that's another way to do it.
I see that in like most games with this new Lush build though. It's like people just play for somebody's standing away from enemies or from the other heroes and just jump on them.
You
kill
actually
them.
just kill them so fast.
Yeah, they die so quickly. It
Your
doesn't-
Ags effectively adds 140 DPS to your ult, because it's every 1.5 seconds you do 210 damage.
Yeah,
and
that's,
it's slow
that's a
too.
full Rax
Keeping them
mid.
in it is nuts.
The question is, will they stay after this tower kill? If they can get more picks with an Avatos, but looks like he's going to catch himself off guard.
To the Infest heal.
Yeah, Infest for now will
Insane.
keep him alive. They probably will need to try and reset this as Tiny. He's going to pop out as... See, Brax again, just suiciding. This is purposeful.
They need to
Try
get
to create
more.
as much space as possible.
Oh, Brax. Classic.
So they will find 2 kills, but will they find more?
They haven't taken Roche yet, have they?
No, no Roche yet. So this is a possibility for 4
That's
Zoomers
a
to get
big
back in the
comeback
game.
potential, yeah.
But you might see buybacks. That's one. Is now Abyssal Blade is online for Envy, so he has the extra lockdown, extra tank
Ugh.
ability.
Drow's game is just getting harder and harder. Even Sammy Boy feels the damage issues he has. He went for the Crystallis.
So do you think it was like, this is hindsight, instead of going for that second Rax, you just get Roche maybe?
Oh, I mean, you should always go for Roche before high ground when they're alive, I think. They got the first Rax when Morphling was dead and respawning, but the second Rax kind of forced it.
The thing with Roche is just like either they fight you and then they lose, or they don't fight you and then you just get Roche and go
Yeah,
high
that's-
ground anyway.
You're fighting Ryer is just full health
Staying
again.
alive.
No mana though.
I cannot believe this man stays alive throughout every engagement, but
No
finally, is this enough to finally get this goat back into the fountain? The Yules keeps him alive a little bit longer, and he blinks to safety. Are you serious? Ryoya. He's going to get chased right now. Is they going to find another kill on the
He goes
backside?
down.
Finally, the goat man dies. No
The Drow's
buyback
dead.
for him.
It's space to kill the Drow though. I mean, he doesn't have buyback because he bought the Octarine. That's how confident they feel in this game is he just buys out.
And
with
now
full
they're just going to
Octarine.
jump Gunner. So all of that expended to kill the goat. And it might cost Gunner his life. Although, able to
Abyssal,
wait for
Abyssal,
TP.
Abyssal, Abyssal. Oh, the
and
net.
there's the Ava.
The net.
And that is enough to finish him off. So they still can go for Roche with this lineup. They don't need the Lesh by any means. Of course, he's the best carrier of the Aegis. But to deny this is more important than anything else. They could give him the cheese later.
I feel like the Roche is really the only way for Zoomers back into the game.
Yeah, they have to contest, even if it's going to suicide. They have to try for this.
Do you guys think 4 Zoomers would have won if Gunner was on single digit?
Single digit is very important in a game of Dota, for sure. They're going to find another kill, this time
Monkeys are going to go
onto
for it. This is a
Ocean.
Monkeys Forever special. They're not even finishing it off. They know.
Yeah, this is.
That's actually so funny.
Not taking any chances. Knowing that Eternal Envy is on your team, you don't want to be in that Reddit thread. That's the important thing.
Yeah, dodge the Reddit threads, boys.
You know,
So Aegis on him now.
the funny thing is, if this was an EU team, they finish Roche right there. It's just that everybody,
Yeah, for sure.
everybody NASA
That's
knows
just how much
Monkeys.
they know each
This
other.
is what
yeah.
Monkeys does. That is exactly
They
what
have
he does.
seen the Reddit clips of Monkeys yoinking those ages.
Yeah, yeah. It's like same with like if Ryoya just pushed a lane, he has not TP'd back to base. He's in the trees.
No. If you think when you see Ryoya pushing a lane, and the entire enemy team is missing, they are smoked to the other side of the map.
Yes.
95%
Oh,
of the
yeah.
time.
Oh,
Ryoya
yeah.
is alone.
Yes.
He is alone, and you should gank him.
I mean, he is alone right now as well.
Like,
So
that's what I mean.
this is
He
exactly
didn't
what
use
we're
his ult
talking
before
about.
he got silenced.
All right, he's quite tanky for now. There is an Infest Bomb, I believe, in the
Ryoya?
vicinity.
They
He's
need to
keeping
kill him
himself
before
alive.
the Infest
Avatos by
Bomb.
Morphling, but he will live. Magnetite's
Oh my God,
doing
they
a
didn't
decent amount of
focus him.
damage, but there's the Infest finally to keep him quite healthy indeed. But already, Drow, Sammy Boy at half health to begin this fight, essentially. And he's just going to drop pretty much immediately.
Glimmer?
He's still alive for now. Brax continuing to chase.
The
Will he be able to finish him
Glimmer?
off with another right click? The crush to follow. And there is the final right click of Sammy Boy's life for this game in all likelihood. As 3 drop Husky, this is going to be a dieback. All that's left is Gunner. And this is likely to be GG. The YOLO mindset, my friends. Very powerful indeed.
It is. I watched these gentlemen beat Quincy Crew. It was.
I mean, they're looking pretty good. I'm not
they're
going to
looking.
lie.
They're actually looking solid. Whatever they're doing is
I mean,
working.
we talk about their lineup, like on paper, the individual skill is definitely there. It's no surprise,
100%.
but like Moo playing support's definitely weird.
Dude, he
but it's
doesn't even
working.
play it in pubs. He's playing
Yeah.
carry and offlane in pubs. Mostly offlane.
Yeah, Moo's freaking done in pubs for sure. The funny thing is, even though he's playing offlane, he's trying to captain a lot more recently. Like
Yeah.
very recently, I've noticed it. He tries to take command, and it's even funnier to watch him try to tell people what to do. Like he's usually doing it pretty friendly, like
He's
amicably.
very chill.
He's very chill, and nobody listens to him anyways.
No, he's.
And people in streamers chat ask like, why do streamers yell at people? It's like if you actually just tell them what to do, it just doesn't work unless you're Dubu.
Let me just say, I think the
Dubu's a god.
the 2 most dead on the inside players in North America are actually on this team. It'd be Brax and Moo. These 2 players, it's like they can't feel anything other than pain.
I honestly can't argue with
They
that.
work well together.
It's-
as
They
a
work
result.
fantastic.
actually.
It's got to be such a chill environment.
Well, with Envy, it cancels out, right?
It-
That's exactly what you want.
Oh,
is
yeah.
to cancel that.
Envy
yeah.
snaking
Ridiculous
definitely need
personality.
2 players like Brax and Moo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they are so alive inside on the side of snaking and Eternal Envy.
It's
that,
it's like economics, supply and command. You got the equilibrium right in the middle.
supply and command.
Yeah.
That sounds like a red alert.
Yeah,
No,
Reference.
that's economics.
Supply and command.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because it's like a leadership thing.
All
rather
right.
Yeah.
than
Well, because Moo's the captain.
and he would never demand anything.
I
He
like
wouldn't
it, I
supply
like
and
it.
demand. He would supply and command.
Yes, you're right.
How vocal is Ryoya?
He is very quiet.
Very quiet.
He will
Okay.
say things based on his own timings. He'll be like,
Okay,
you
that's
know,
kind of
I
what you
wanna
want from a
fight.
mid laner
He
then,
will
right?
sigh into the microphone. He's a sire.
He is a sire for
He's
sure.
a sire, and
He's got the same type of toxicity I have, where like he's never blatantly being toxic, but
So
like sometimes
more passive aggressive.
yeah, sometimes he'll just sigh.
oh, he is a passive-aggressive, destructive force. Let me tell you.
The thing
Huh.
about Ryoya is
Easy
he's
fix for
usually
that is,
one
not
of the
voice
highest.
activation.
He's one of the highest skilled players in the game. Almost
yeah.
every game he plays. So anytime he sees people mess up, he just knows he's better than them, and I think it's hard to get over that.
You have to,
Brax
though.
showing off that newly picked up BKB, still going strong with it on. Looks like Tiny will fall, so that's the first death for fun. That's a weird tongue twister.
Don't do that
But
next
it'll
time.
be a trade for many a hero. And this looks to be the beginning of the end as GG is finally called.
I called my boys 4 Zoomers both games, but my boy Gun Daddy this time around I think was really the letdown.
That early death that we didn't even get to catch because it was so
Then he
uncharacteristic.
died to Roche.
Yeah. That's bad luck, probably.
That's not bad luck.
Maybe somebody like, okay, imagine this scenario where you're morphing down to agility, right? You're trying to right-click as much as you can. You're keeping it kind of low.
Okay.
But your teammate comes out of the range of melee from Roshan, and then Roshan hits you. It's not really your fault. It could be your teammate's fault.
I mean, in my case, it would 100% be my teammate's
Of course,
fault.
always.
Did you guys see that Dota WTF clip of the Morphling that was like 3,000 HP